What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla -2 news and updates. In this one we are diving on into one of the bigger Godzilla events of the year, what I think might be the second biggest Godzilla event of the year, because I've got my fingers crossed for this year's Godzilla Festival, which I will cover in upcoming news and updates. But today we're going to go into what potentially could be the biggest Godzilla event of the year, one of the most important pieces of American Godzilla media released, more Hollywood filmmakers claiming inspiration from Godzilla -1, and Toho's upcoming partnership with China's SCLA that very well might lead to a brand new era for Godzilla. Is this the start of the three Godzillas? The legendary Godzilla, the Toho Godzilla, and the SCLA Godzilla? Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another Godzilla -2 news and updates. I really appreciate it. It's been a minute since I've done these, so I got a little bit of catching up to do. I'm gonna try and keep it rolling though, so let's just get right into it, starting out with some artwork like always. This piece comes to us from Heatonic. This is the D-Rex versus Godzillasaurus. Obviously the D-Rex is in the new Jurassic World Rebirth. I think he looks so cool in this artwork. And then you've got Godzilla Odo version here. I particularly love it when people place Odo Godzilla into these versus matchups. I just think it's really cool. Love it. Love the fire lighting, you know, calling back to that Odo Island attack. The two dinosaurian designs, very cool. I think that D-Rex is getting absolutely washed. I just don't think the D-Rex would be a very good fighter. I don't think he'd be very good in combat at all, especially against Godzilla. I think Odo Godzilla just destroys him. So rest in peace, my boy, the D-Rex. Next up, this is something that's really important in the fan base. Godzilla the First 70 Years, the official illustrated history was officially released. This book was created by Stephen Reifel and Ed Godzilla, two of the most iconic and most important Godzilla historians out there. This book has been considered by people like Norman England to be one of the most important English language books ever written on the making of Godzilla. And I was hoping my freaking family would get it for me for my birthday, and they didn't. So you know what? I don't have mine yet, but I'm hopefully going to be getting it very soon. Either way, I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. I've got a link down below, the Amazon link down below. Please go check it out and get it for yourself. I love their cover art. Very cool. And what a cool render of Godzilla -1 they have here. We have some peeks inside the book and it just looks fantastic. Really detailed history on the making of the Godzilla suits, on the making of all of these movies, with interviews and breakdowns from the crews of these films. Special effects artist and monster suit maker very famously worked on the Millennium era Godzilla films and still works on the Godzilla Festival films to this day, hyped up this book, mentioning that Godzilla the First 70 Years has wonderful commentary on the production of Godzilla over the years, including rare photos, showing his support for this book. Again, if you're interested in Godzilla, I could not recommend this more. I cannot tell you how excited I am to dive into it for myself. Rotten Tomatoes released a list of the top 100 greatest movies ever made. This was a list created of certified fresh movies that they applied their recommendations formula to, considering it with the tomato rating involved, as well as the popcorn meter votes, and then with some critic approval they put together this list. And on the list, Godzilla -1 ranked as the number 7 greatest movie ever made. You'll love to see it. I love how much love this movie has gotten. So awesome. Still supporting a 99% critic score and a 98% audience score. The movie is absolutely beloved. It's so fantastic. Godzilla Expo Morioka began with some wonderful suit displays. You can see they got a 90s Godzilla suit. It's so rare to see those. I feel like it's rare to see those things, but you've got a 90s Godzilla suit. You've got Godzilla Millennium suit, Kiryu suit. You've got all the Godzilla Festival suits on display, which is just so freaking cool. You've got the new Gigan, you've got the Hedorah, you've got Godzilla himself, and then you've got Jet Jaguar. So awesome. In late July, Godzilla headed on over to San Diego Comic-Con. This was described as what could be Godzilla's biggest year ever at SDCC. Personally, I think probably the biggest year ever for Godzilla SDCC was 2018 when they played that incredible Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer, but that's just me. There was so many Godzilla events though at SDCC this year, and it was very involved with Toho. IDW hosted the Godzilla Enter the Kaisei era panel, which dived into their new comic universe. The Godzilla at 70, 7 Decades of the King of the Monsters Figures panel was the main event, featuring Shin Godzilla's Shinji Higuchi, Super 7's Brian Flynn, Mondo's Hector Arc and Peter Santa, Bandai's Jeff Gordon, DC Comics Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong 2 writer Brian Buccellato, who also did the first Godzilla vs. Kong vs. Justice League crossover, IDW's Tim Seeley and Jake Williams, and a Monarch Legacy of Monsters VFX supervisor. Additionally, a Legendary Comics MonsterVerse panel was held, diving into their upcoming graphic novels, such as the Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong 2, MonsterVerse Declassified, and Monarch The Lost Adventures. Abrams Books' 70 Years of Godzilla panel with Stephen Reifel and Ed Gadacheski was hosted, all about their new Godzilla The First 70 Years book. Many booths included Godzilla stuff. The IDW booth featured exclusive covers, pins, early access releases, and Godzilla signings. A Bandai booth recreating an abandoned kaiju fallout shelter featured Godzilla displays, -1 Golden Edition figures, the premium SH Monster Arts My Goji, which is an event exclusive, plus Godzilla posters and Shinji Higuchi signings. Monogram featured this deluxe gift set, which is pretty cute. I like the artwork on all of those. Mondo featured daily exclusives, including these really cool retro colored Godzilla figures, and a metallic version of the Marvel Comics Godzilla cover. Titan Books featured limited edition Godzilla cookbooks. Stephen Reifel and Ed Gadacheski held signing sessions also at Sales Pavilion. Off-site, there was the Super 7 Godzilla store takeover with exclusive merch and Shinji Higuchi signing sessions. A Burning Godzilla mural was put up at San Diego's Bait Store, and there was Godzilla-themed events at Den of Geeks. As for Super 7's Godzilla store takeover, that was a pretty freaking huge deal. It was called Godzilla Station. It was really awesome. This is the reveal poster for it, which is really cool, featuring Godzilla -1 chomping down on the train. He looks so fantastic. And of course, the Godzilla Station logo itself calls back to that same moment from -1 with Godzilla holding onto the train in his mouth. It's even ripped off like when Noriko falls out. Godzilla Station landed at SDCC on July 23rd through July 27th. Here's a photo of the mural they put up on the wall teasing Godzilla Station with Godzilla's hand busting through it. Then we have tons of behind the scenes photos of the thing being prepped, like photos of them putting it up. It's really cool, you know, they had to put up the walls, make it look like it was like a train station that was all damaged. It also kind of looks like the train car itself, which is really cool. Godzilla's head appears over top, biting down onto it as if he's biting the train car. In the wide shot, you can see like the mural on the side looks like Godzilla himself is coming out of the building, you know, like on one side his hand is busting through, while on the top he's biting through it. I think it's really cool that they put the scar on My Goji's cheek. That looks really awesome. And as the store opened, it actually drew a line of about 80 people, which is really cool. Godzilla Station coins released. You had to get these to gain entry. They were given away at San Diego Comic-Con, or you could get them at the Godzilla Station store itself. They look awesome. I would have wanted to keep them. They look so cool. Then Super 7 officially opened the Godzilla Station. There's this cute little video of them opening the station here with Brian Flynn. I believe that's Brian Flynn. And then they did other little teaser videos as well, promoting that the station is in operation. As the store opened in full, SD Comic-Con gave us some wonderful photos of it. There you can see the Godzilla Station coin, the front and the back. It looks so awesome. And then they take us inside where you can see workers dressed up in the Godzilla Station gear. They've got the whole outdoors decorated like the train cart. Inside they've got that Godzilla statue. I believe that's the one from Toho LA, which is the one I've been with 2 times now at Anime Matsuri. There's tons of Godzilla merchandise on sales here. So cool. Tons of displays of all of the different figure lines and all the different merchandise lines that Super 7 has to offer. They have so much cool stuff, from the Fun series to the Ultimates to cards to everything. It's so cool. And of course their Reaction series, which is the iconic series. Just so much freaking stuff. As far as exclusive figures go, my buddy Kaiju Canuck has us covered. He has a wonderful video. I've got a link down below. Please go check it out to see much more detail on this. But he gives us a little tour of the Godzilla store exclusives. They had a Stern Pinball Mechagodzilla and Godzilla Super 7 Reaction Series figure in the style of the Stern Pinball machine artwork, which is pretty cool. The artwork is not always black and white on these Stern Pinball machines, and it's not really black and white here either, as the red is still in color, which looks really striking and really awesome. I love that. There was a glow-in-the-dark Godzilla -1 Train Biter Reaction Series figure, a Godzilla -1 Clear Blue Fun Series, which looks fantastic, a Golden Mechagodzilla 1993 Fun Series, which is cute, and a Blazing Godzilla -1 Super 7 Ultimates, which looks awesome, like a burning Godzilla style for the Super 7 Ultimates. That's sick as hell, man. I love it. That's really cool. I also like when Kaiju Canuck puts it under a black light. It looks pretty fun. The new head of DC see, James Gunn has frequently given Godzilla Minus One praise, most recently while touring a video store talking about his favorite movies in the video store. I've got the YouTube video link down below, you can go check it out. A couple different times James Gunn mentions Godzilla Minus One, saying at one point that it was one of his favorite movies he had seen in years and years, and at other times just praising the movie overall for its really well handling of both the human aspect and also the action aspect, and handling it with such grace in a massive IP that has been around for so long. Clearly, like, as somebody taking on projects like Superman, having a series like Godzilla that is this far in with this many entries that can still manage to balance incredibly unique and meaningful human stories is something to aspire to. And he talks about that in that little interview. It's cool. But there has been a recent trend. We saw it with James Gunn, we saw it with Tom Cruise, and now we're seeing it with David Koepp, of Hollywood producers or writers or filmmakers claiming that Minus One is their inspiration and their template for whatever they're working on, you know? So this clip kind of went viral of David Koepp, the Jurassic World Rebirth screenwriter, saying Minus One inspired him, and people were like, oh, how come every single movie's inspired by Godzilla Minus One these days? I feel like of all of the movies to say was inspired by Godzilla Minus One, Jurassic World Rebirth feels the most likely, you know? Like, Superman, I don't see it. There's a big kaiju, feels very Ultraman, doesn't feel very Godzilla. The other one, Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, not at all. No Minus One in there, but according to Tom Cruise, there's lots of Minus One in there. Here, at least with this one, it's like, I see it, you know? The whole chase sequence with the Spinosaurs on the boat, that feels very Minus One. There's a lot of sequences throughout the movie that feel very Minus One. The D-Rex's appearance kind of feels very Minus One. There's a lot of stuff in there that I can see a lot of Minus One inspiring. I think that's a very, very funny one for people to freak out about. The one that's also a monster movie that feels the most directly related to Godzilla Minus One, that was also made by Gareth Edwards, who's gone on record multiple times saying he's inspired by Godzilla Minus One even before making Jurassic World Rebirth. I think it's a funny one that people picked out that one as being the one they were going to draw the line at and be like, stop saying you're inspired by Minus One, posers. Only one of the three filmmakers that I've mentioned today I kind of don't believe. Takashi Yamazaki received the Kawakita Award, which is given to people who have made significant contributions to the culture of film. It's really cool to see, even in the year 2025, Godzilla Minus One is still winning awards. I love that in this photo you can see Takashi Yamazaki way out there in the background receiving the award, and then you can also see the Godzilla Minus One poster on display there. Very cool. And I'm just very proud of how well this movie has done. It's just so awesome. Makes me very happy. Toho is teaming up with the Shanghai company to increase Godzilla's popularity in China. So Toho is teaming up with China's SCLA in order to promote Godzilla in mainland China. Now, this is something we've talked about a little bit so far. Obviously, there's Godzilla's having some sort of presence in Southeast Asia. We saw that Godzilla Southeast Asia short film, and we did hear Toho's opening up like a new branch, a new type of division in China. And this article goes into a little bit more detail on that. It states that this partnership was done to promote licensing and branding of Godzilla, the Japanese Godzilla, I should mind you, in China as a new development in its global strategy. So for a long time now, Toho's been in a kind of a weird position where, technically speaking, the MonsterVerse Godzilla is the more popular Godzilla globally. In Japan, it's the Japanese Godzilla who's more popular. Obviously, the domestic Godzilla is more popular in Japan, but they want their Godzilla to become more popular on a global playing field. It's not to say they want to replace the MonsterVerse Godzilla or stop the MonsterVerse so that their Godzilla is the one people remember. Instead, it's to say they want their Godzilla to be just as prominent alongside the American Godzilla. Now, I've talked about this a lot in other videos, okay? You can go check out some of my other videos for more coverage on that. In fact, the big Bloomberg bombshell article did go into a lot of this info. If you don't know what that article was, that's the article that seemingly confirms a Shin Godzilla 2 is on the way. And it also confirmed that a new Southeast Asia Godzilla project would be on the way as well. Here we find out that this will be the founding of Toho Entertainment Asia. Toho Entertainment Asia will be a partnership between Toho and China's SCLA, and SCLA will handle increased character awareness, merchandise, exhibition events, and marketing campaigns in China. Toho's CEO and president, Hiroshi Yurei, reveals that this is in response to the popularity of Godzilla in China and the strong box office earnings of the MonsterVerse in China. They're trying to accelerate the brand expansion of the Godzilla IP. The MonsterVerse is very popular overseas, and it's very popular in China. China's actually one of the biggest box office contributors to the MonsterVerse overall. Godzilla Minus One had kind of an awkward release in that it released in Japan and then internationally, except it really didn't release in a lot of Southeast Asian territories. While a lot of people seemed to throw the blame at Toho for this, it was never Toho's fault. There's lots of documentation out there to show Toho very much wanted Godzilla Minus One to have a full global rollout, and it was actually a lot of other countries dragging their feet on helping them out with that rollout. That's why in America, Toho is now partnered with G-Kids to make sure that they can have even stronger, bigger releases in the United States, whereas in China, somewhere where Godzilla Minus One struggled to get into theaters, now they have Toho Entertainment Asia, who might be able to help with more Southeast Asian territories as well, and will be able to help expand the Japanese Godzilla to a whole new market. SCLA has handled many Japanese expansions for anime and popular characters for over 20 years, and they will be working hand in hand to create, this is important, quote, a new chapter in the history of the Godzilla IP in mainland China, end quote. I think it's very possible that Toho Entertainment Asia could produce a Godzilla movie at some point, but I actually don't think it's very likely right now. I think Toho's got their own things to worry about. I know Toho's got a lot that they're working on. There's a lot that I've heard that is in development that is very freaking exciting, and I cannot wait for more to be revealed so we can dive into it. But yes, there's some big things in the works. I don't think that there's room in all of that I've heard for a new Godzilla movie to be coming out from Southeast Asia. But again, that Southeast Asia Godzilla project, that Roar in Southeast Asia short film, I think that is the start of something, whether it's a new series of short films or a new, I don't know, animated project. I'm not sure. I could see it meaning something is coming, especially down the line. Could be a new ride as well, like a new Godzilla the Ride kind of deal, which is all stuff I did discuss more in the Bloomberg videos, which you can go check out on the channel now. To celebrate this, Toho released this fantastic new Godzilla 70th anniversary poster. I did see some people a little annoyed that the MonsterVerse Godzilla is not here, but guys, that's the entire purpose. The MonsterVerse already has distribution in China. It's already very popular in China. Godzilla MonsterVerse is already popular over there. This is about the Japanese Godzilla making it into a whole new marketplace. So here, it's celebrating the long history of Godzilla, the Toho Godzilla. I'm a little annoyed that my boy Godzilla Earth and Phileas don't make appearances here, as well as of course Godzilla Ultima, but clearly it's just the live action Godzillas, the mainline Godzillas. I think it's a fantastic poster. I love whenever they do stuff like this, put all of the Godzillas in the silhouette of the newest one. That's happened a few times and it's always the coolest thing to me. I think that this is so epic and I really like it. I think it looks really prestigious. I love the 70 in the background. This just looks really exciting. Toho's got a lot of big plans. There are some very exciting things on the way and some big surprises for everybody to be announced coming up soon. I don't know if those announcements will happen at Godzilla Festival, but I'd like to believe so. Either way, I'm very excited to find out what this new Southeast Asian Godzilla project is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a new movie or something, but I do know that there will be something for us to look forward to, and I'm excited about that. If you're excited to hear more about that, and if you're excited to hear more about Toho's upcoming Godzilla movie, please make sure to subscribe, because this is where I'm going to leave you for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. It is through the support of the patrons on Patreon that I'm able to make videos like this for you in the first place. If you want to support the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. If that's such your thing, please consider joining as a channel member. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.